The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
And welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and I am so excited to bring you another amazing episode. So before we get started, we always want to take time to thank our sponsors. So thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges, feel free to reach out to any one of their trained professionals. They are bilingual, nationwide, and waiting for your call. They could be reached at 631-714-4822. So this week's show is going to be absolutely amazing, not only because I support women's causes, but because my first guest is Dr. Neva, who is the founder of the International Women's Conference, which is scheduled to take place on Saturday, March 11th at Hofstra University. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Rhonda. It's a pleasure to be here.
I am so excited. So obviously we met through a mutual colleague of ours by the name of Carla, and she introduced me to this amazing event that you put on. And I would love for you to take a few minutes to really discuss, A, what we should expect at the conference. And then, of course, B, let's talk about your why. But let's start with the most important thing. Let's talk about the conference. Give us a little insight of what we should expect.
All right. So before I jump in the conference, Rhonda, I want to say, when Carla introduced us, what I loved is the fact that you jumped in and really show your support for women, and that is so appreciative because not everyone does that. They talk the talk, but they don't do the walk. So I appreciate that. Right? So, thank you again. The conference itself is going to be at Hofstra University on March 11th. That's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we have a lot of great speakers that's going to be there. Also, there's a panel on woman, money, and investment, which, Rhonda, I know you're going to be a part of that panel moderating it, and it's going to be awesome because it's something that, we need. We need to learn and hear from others how they're doing it and what we're supposed to know, right? So really looking forward to that. Of course, we have on other, panels on overcoming adversity, which will be great, and something for the university students because we can't leave them out, which is after university, what's next, right? It's not just a degree. What's, how we're going to reach from point A to point B in their life, because I already graduated, so in their life.
Now, we know that it is what we will call women focused. Is it exclusively for women, or in the past have you had men also participate or attend?
Listen, men are welcome. I love men that support women. So just in the past, they've been there, and they were really impressed because they realized the knowledge there goes way beyond, right? So they're more than welcome. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to review the panel of women, and there is such an amazing level of diversity that comes from each one of them. Tell me a little bit about how you selected the women that were going to participate in your program.
It's a good question. Now, one of the things I try to, include is not just, there's business aspects and from that aspect, but also looking at the social, the economical, and political, right? So when I looked at it, I wanted the field for international because that's the conference, International Women's Conference, right? So I wanted that feel. So the diverse background there. Also, locally, looking at local levels, who's involved in doing what, right? Such as the assembly member, that's going to be their Salaj.
Yep.
She's going to be speaking as well. Also, on the different panels, what they're bringing, their background, their knowledge, what they're bringing, and their experience, right? So each is just, when I look at it and say, I look and I'm like, okay, I know this person has this knowledge, this experience, this background, this will work together, right? And to be honest, if it didn't seem like it would work with individuals I've not followed up. Maybe it work another time, but not this time.
Now, are these women that have attended prior years and that they've been invited back?
Yeah, of course. It's like last year we did an event online, virtually, and those speakers, they're all invited back. Carla, not to speak, but as attendees. Carla, though, she has spoken at a past event, and she's invited back to speak again, right? So, and I don't want to make it, too boring or repetitive, like, oh, she spoke before, so, but they're there to support. So past speakers will be there to support. And, so on this lineup, I think, two speakers from previous events that are going to be on the panel.
Now, when somebody attends the event, what do you want them to walk away with? Is it a feeling of empowerment? Is it a component of education? Tell me a little bit about what that looks like.
So for me, it's really one of the big things. Yes, motivate. I believe in motivation and inspiration and stuff like that. I also want them to walk away with knowledge, because I feel knowledge is so important to open doors and to grow, right? So, of course, knowledge and knowing what to do with it. So definitely they will be motivated, they will be inspired, they will connect, because there are individuals that are there that I'm sure, want to meet you, Rhonda, and others that you probably want to meet, myself, right? Because people be walking in that room or reconnected with, right?
Absolutely. But, you always want to walk away feeling that there's been a little bit of, we'll call quote unquote networking or business development, as well as friendships and relationships.
Yes, and that's what it's all about. And I've seen it before, and I believe it will happen again, because that's the focus.
I love it. So, of course, you've created this particular conference, but let's talk a minute about your why. Who are you, and why did you create this conference for other women?
It's a long story, but I'll make it short. So I lived outside of the United States for 3 years while I worked in Saudi Arabia. And when I was there, I realized that women, that my students particularly, they didn't connect to female leaders. Like, what's a female leader? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I had to show them that it's not necessarily have to be in a political position. It could be a leader, could be a mom. A leader could be a teacher, someone you look up to, right? Leader is, someone that they're doing things that people follow them, right? They look up to them. So from that, I wrote a book called Female's Guide to Understanding Leadership. And when I'm here in the States again, doing whatever I do, my why is I want to bring knowledge. I want to empower. I want to connect, right? My why for doing the conference. And it's been working, because I see that people gravitate to it, because their need to, it's like, you have something that void being filled, and that this place, this connection can fill part of that void or all of it, right?
Which I understand. And I love that. And is that how you created your consulting company?
Yes. Yes.
Take a deep breath on that one. So we know that you have a consulting company, Neva Alliance, and we know that you do training and development there. So is one the backbone or the footprint for the other?
Yes, definitely. So when I did the conference, it was all, I didn't even know it would grow this way. And I'm so glad that it's developed this way. And when I did it, a part of it, okay, I did this conference and I include the same components of knowledge and people getting information into my conference as a part of what I do in my business as a consultant, right, and as a trainer. Right? So it's just all ties in together.
Which I love. And I love the fact that you're doing empowering things for our community. And of course, when I was looking into a little bit more about who you are and what you do, you're also being recognized by the Long Island Press as one of the upcoming Power Women. Is that correct?
Oh, that was 2018.
Oh, okay. So that happened already. I was going to say congratulations because I was a power woman myself, as well as several other women that I've worked with. So I was just going to say congratulations. So,
well, congratulations.
us powerful women who are leaders in the community must stick together. So once again, we are speaking right now with Dr. Neva, and we are hoping that you can join us on March 11th. It is a Saturday from 10 to 4 at Hofstra University, where we will be celebrating International Women of Influence. It is a conference. We hope you can make it. Dr. Neva, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned for our next guest.